Okay. How many people have we got? We got 28 people in. All right. How's everyone doing, first and foremost? Everyone excited? Everyone enjoyed the first workshop sessions? Good, 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 good. Just out of curiosity, before we make a start, who has used Canva before and who hasn't used Canva? Just so I know, have an idea. Of course, hey, Sam, how we doing? Yes. So Sam's used it before.
Not too bad, bro.
You've used it. Okay, so a few people have know how to use it. Okay. So okay, cool. Let's make a start. Time is, yeah, let's make a start. So, welcome to this presentation on Canva. The aim of this presentation is to kind of just give you guys just an idea of how you can kind of use Canva within your local churches. Again, some of you guys may be very familiar with how it works. So again, it's just giving you ideas of how we could potentially take those next steps and be able to utilize the tools that Canva has in our youth and church activities. So before we start, I'm going to pray and then we can move forward. So, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to join together as a collective of communication and media leader, Lord. Lord, I ask you to allow us to have a fruitful discussion about the use of Canva and how we can use this tool to effectively communicate your message and the work that we do within our local churches. So I ask you to bless us at this time. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
So, introduction. A bit of background about myself. My name is Caleb. I am the media and broadcast technician for the North England Conference. I've been working for the conference. It's coming up to a year and 4 months at this time. So, yeah. So, that's a bit about me. My local church is Hampton Central. I'm also the local AV and media leader for that church. So, again, a lot like you guys, I do this for both at the conference and at the local church level. So, again, that's a bit about me. And my background is obviously audio visual cameras. I've been working professionally in media production for the last 5 years now. Well, again, I've been volunteering in church since about the age of 11. So again, I'm comms and media. That's all a bit of me. So I want to start off with why effective communication matters. The church, we play a pivotal role in connecting the congregation and the wider community. And communication is very key in that, because clear communication allows us to build trust, transparency, allows us to engage with visuals, using effective visuals, and ultimately allows us to effectively communicate the message and strengthen relationship with people and share the message more broadly. So a lot of the times, I think, as we move into a more digital age and everything to shift online, I think as a church, and that's just, we don't necessarily use social media and communication or graphics in the best way we can. And while today's purpose is to be able to give you guys the tools and the resources to be able to effectively use these tools and tasks to be able to help spread a message, again, both internally in your local church and also to the wider community. So what is Canva? So Canva is a design platform. It is that makes it easy for anyone with literally no experience to professionals to be able to create visual graphical content. It is very user friendly. It has a drag and drop tool to simplify the design process. It has lots of templates that are, again, ready-made templates for you guys to just jump in and get your hands on straight away. We have both free and pro versions, as Pastor Joe outlined earlier. And again, one of the good things I really, really like about Canva is its ability to do collaborative teamwork. So again, if you have a group of individuals or group of teams that are come to work together and you're on departments you're trying to create content, Canva allows you all be able to have to the project and be able to make changes as a team and collect. So again, it's very, very good in that. with the free version, let's go back.
Sorry, for some reason you're not coming through very clear. I don't know if you
Am I
could
not
check
coming
your
very
mic
clear?
settings.
No problem. Let's try that again. That any better now? Still a bit quiet.
That's better.
Better now.
No problem. That's fine. I have to hold this while I do so. Excuse me. So, yeah. So, as I said, there's both a free version and a pro version.
Yeah.
So again, as I stated, it has the drag with the free version. Again, you can have the drag and drop editor, easy customization. The free version comes with 250,000 free templates. There are over 100 plus design layouts for social media presentations, letters. There's a million graphics. It has AI ability. Again, collaborative work, and it also has a cloud storage. So again, if you're looking to store your posts and stuff on there, it has a cloud storage where you're able to store any design assets, whether that's photos, logos, anything like that. And again, it also has the ability to export files in various different formats. So again, Canva, the free version, it is very, very good, but obviously it has some limitations. So the pro version, again, has unlimited access to premium templates. This is where Canva really comes to its own with the pro version. Now, I know free is good, but the pro version really comes to its own. So again, it has unlimited access to premium templates, such as stock videos, audio, graphics, and it also has ranking template. Ranking template is a really nice feature, which I think as a conference we use that as well, and it allows us to be able to have key design assets and elements that are stored on there. So again, for example, if you are asking a member of your team to say, okay, we need a poster creating, we're able to go and grab your church, whether it's your church logo, whether that is a certain type of font that you use for your posters or images, that is the blanket stores that all into one place, and it allows you to easily have access to it at any time. Again, it has fully customizable templates. And another key tool feature with this, it has the Magic Redesign tool. Again, I will show you how this works in practicality, so you have a bit of idea of how it works. But the Magic Resize tool is just a way to be able to say you have made a poster that is 1920 by 1080. But you want to kind of make it smaller, want to make it portrait. You are able to do that with Magic Resize. It automatically recreates the design for you, keeps all the elements in that. And it's a quick and easy way to be able to make change rather than having to go and recreate the poster from scratch. So again, how can us as churches use Canva? So again, whether we're trying to make flyers to advertise community events, outreach, youth nights, whether we are looking to make social media graphics, whether sharing Bible verses, announcements, live updates, creation of bulletins, again, allowing us to keep our congregation informed. It also good for not just necessarily us as communication leaders, but again, wider church departmental leaders, whether that's your PM leaders, your pastors. Again, it has great graphics to be able to create sermon titles, presentations. It's a really good tool, so not just for us, but for the wider church to use, and it's very, very easy to use. So again, the ability to have templates, it really makes your life so easy instead of having to create everything from scratch. Because I know, again, with PowerPoint, some of the designs are really great. Some of the templates that Canva has to offer are really good and really initiative and really able to bring out a bit of vibrancy into what we offer out there. So how does Canva work? So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. And then, cool. So let's go to the homepage. And everyone's still able to see my screen, by the way, just want to double check.
Yeah.
So
yes,
this is Canva. So again, I'm using, at the moment, the version I'm using is the pro version. I'll also show you how the free version works as well, just so you have both options. But this is Canva. So as you can see, this is the home page. Very simple design, very clear and concise in how you're able to think about the website and access features on the website. So again, you'll have any recent designs that you've made. You will have your recent projects on the side. Again, you'll have on this side, you'll have your templates, your brand folder, different apps as well. Because again, Canva also has different productivity apps. So again, whatever you need to do, again, spend some time having a look at it. It has some really good tools to be able to bring out some of your graphic content. But say, for example, you want to create a poster. So, and you have some preset designs to say, okay, what do I want to make? So let's say, for example, let's start off with a document. You know what, let's do a social media. Do you want to create a social media ad? So if I click onto that, from the jump, Canva gives me lots of base options to be able to create different templates, what I'm trying to do. So, for example, I want to make a poster for we got a new event coming up. So you can either select from here or you can search at the top bar saying, for example, church. I can just search that. So again, it has some different options at the top. So you've got church landscape banner. So again, depending on what you're looking to do, again, you can select one of these designs and then you can take it from there. Alternatively, you can also do it up here. So again, as I said, Canva has a lot of pre-made templates that you can use. So for example, if I was to go search church youth event, as you can see, Canva comes up with lots of already pre-made, very good, nicely designed projects for you to work off. So for example, I say, okay, I like the look of this one. So you go into there and it goes into customize template. I would like to caveat as well. So again, as I said, with the pro version, you get a lot more access to a lot more different projects and templates. With the free version, it's a bit limited. But for the purpose of this example, I will just use this one. So as you can see, this is the editing suite. You have different aspects of your design that you can use. So again, you have ability to change fonts, change the color, change the images, and you can do those from the side here. So for example, if I didn't like that design and I wanted to choose something different, I can go across into templates, find a design I like, select the one I want, and then make that change. You also have a section called style. So again, if there's a certain color palette that you like, again, we'll set a set of fonts. Canva has presets, combinations that you can pick from, depending on what you're trying to build, or you can just pick from anything that you would like to use. So we'll stick with this one for now. So that's the design section. In the element section is basically different elements in the screen. So for example, I want to change this photo. So I could say in this search element, you have different aspects. So you have shapes, you have graphics, you have stickers, you have photos, you have videos, audio, various different elements that you can use to add to design. I want to change the photo here, so I'm just going to say youth. So I can go into photos and select from my preset stock of photos that I'm able to choose at will. And say, for example, I like this one. So I'm able to drag that into here, and again, simple drag and drop, add it onto the page. Now again, depending on what you want to do, say, okay, I don't like that there, I can right click and click layer, then I can move it backwards. There's a lot of functionality to be able to customize this as well. Yes, Simba, yes.
Yeah, just whilst we're on this section, so you know when you went on the pictures,
Yes.
is there a way to add, let's say, your actual own pictures? It might be photos of the actual, your youth, or are these kind of just online pre-set pictures that you just pick whichever one kind of fits your purpose?
Got you. So you can upload your own pictures, for example. So for example, I can show you here. So if you go into the upload section, go to upload files, I can import images. So for example, I want to import this image, it will upload the file, and then I have this picture of Pastor Francis. I'm able just to simply drag and drop on there. And again, the same for video, same for audio. Again, you're able to most files. Obviously, with Canva, there are certain file types that it's only able to upload. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but you mostly PNG to JPEGs. Most of them are covered. Same for video. I think they recommend MP4, MOV files, but most formats and are covered in Canva. So again, yeah, you can upload your own content from there as well.
Oh, that's great. Just another question. So is this within the free one, or would it?
You can do that in the free one. Yeah, in the free one, you can upload your own images. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah. So again, that's just a simple way you can do adding images. Again, pretty much the same. If you wanted to add a shape, wanted to add a sticker, a video, works in the same principle. With text, again, this is fairly simple. Again, you have different. So you got a heading, you got a subheading, and you got a body of text. And again, depending on what you want to do, you can just drag this on there. Again, change the fonts you want to use, depending on what you're feeling like, or you can use Canva's custom-made font combinations. Again, Canva is very good in being able to allow you to customize and pick and choose and be able to use different aspects of it. The brand book is a key feature that I really, really love about Canva. So the brand book is a pro version. You can only use that in the pro version. So I will caveat that. But with the brand book, for example, if I come out of this for a second and I go into brand. So within the brand elements, we are able to set up brand kits. So essentially a brand kit is, again, being able to upload different logos and fonts and colors that are significant within your organization. So as you can see, we have the NEC and the Seventh-day Adventist logos in here. We also have the colors, our main colors that we use. Again, we also have the fonts that are used. So with the NEC, we use Adventist Sans, is what the general conference once order was to use. And again, you can also add any sort of brand voice. You can add your own photos, like specific photos that you use in all your content, different graphics, icons. So again, this is a really good feature. So again, if you're having to make repeated posters of flyers or whatever you're trying to make, and you need to use the same assets, you can access that from there. Alternatively, you can just upload them into the upload folder if you have the free version. As I said, Canva has a free folder that allows you to store to 5 gigabytes of assets. So again, if you have the free version, you can just upload that into there. Yes, Anna.
One question.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm using Canva and I need the logo of the Adventist church, but I seem to only find the ones with background, and I can't find one to use in the template or something like that.
Okay, cool. I'm coming on to that later in the presentation, so I will come back to your question because I can give a bit more insight into that and a way for you
Thank
to
you.
for everyone to be able to get access to that. So yeah, but if I go back to the presentation, not the presentation, to the project. Yeah, again, similar. I'm able to say, for example, if I wanted to use the NEC brand kit, I can use that. The brand templates, I can drag that in there. If I wanted to add the logo, again, very simple drag and drop, resize how I feel. Again, really able to utilize the most out of it. So, Joe, if you want to jump in, I believe Pastor Joe Philpott's in here. He may want to add a few things onto here. If he isn't, no, he's not. He's come back in a bit. But Pastor Philpott's also going to jump in a bit and talk and get some insight into Canva as well. Cool. Yeah, Pastor Philpott's gonna join us in a second. But while we wait for Pastor Philpott, yeah, again, similar. You've got the draw feature. You can draw on the page wherever you feel like, and again, you're also able to access different projects from here. So again, if you want to add, if you're saying you wanted to add multiple different files and wanted to make it on one document, I can just add page, and then, for example, I can add that, and it shows up on here. And hey, Pastor Philpott. So yeah. So if we go back to the presentation for a second, well, as you can see, I've used Canva as for my presentation today. So again, it's a really good tool to be able to make presentations. So again, I use Canva for my presentation today. So if we go back into present, I'll start sharing my screen for a second so I can represent this. Joe, did you want to jump in and say anything at the time? No, cool. No worries, no worries.
No, I'm here just to listen and to learn like everybody else.
So, presentation is not working now. Are you guys able to see my screen now again? Just show the presentation again? Or no?
Yeah.
I think that
Brilliant. Yeah. So let's carry on. So, how can we as church effectively use Canva for our different church ministries? So again, I've shown you how you can use Canva, but let's see some of the ways we can use these within our church platform and be able to use this within our different day-to-day activities. So one example is social media. Social media is very key in this day and age. I think it's one of the most key ways that we as a church and as communication and media leaders are able to communicate for what our church is doing and the vision of our church, and also share the gospel message. So again, some of the ways we can use Canva to create graphics. So again, it will be inspirational Bible verses. We can do updates on events and services, highlight past activities from the different churches throughout the week. So if you have like a soup kitchen, again, we can use Canva to create graphical photos for the soup kitchen. We're able to do recap videos. We could do weekly sermon graphics, as I was saying to you guys earlier. Again, if your pastors, again, so I would also encourage your pastors and your elders to use Canva as well if they to use Canva to be able to create the presentations. Again, any seasonal campaigns you're doing, and again, testimony highlights or testimony spots. Again, if somebody has a written testimony that they wanted to share, you can use Canva to create that and create a written message. So, example of these. So these are something that we use at my local church at Wolverhampton Central. So the first one is just a Bible text quote. So it says "Shine your light." So again, that was simply made in Canva. Got a stock photo, chose some nice font, and again, very simple, very effective. And again, these are just good ways to be able to share the message. Second one is for our AY service in the afternoon. Again, as you can see, very, very bright, very colors, very engaging. And again, with Canva, it allows us to be able to pick and choose how we show different aspects of it again. So this is our youth service. We want it to be a bit more vibrant, a bit more fun, be a bit more youthful in nature. So this is so yeah. Again, this is another one. So this is one I created this morning. So this is a cyber service video template, and again, has key information about the day, service time, and again, you can play about with these. So again, these are short video format videos you can make in Canva, and again, really easy, really simple to use. And again, for another example, if I go back a slide, so I'll go forward, is church bulletins. So I know a lot of us still like to use church bulletins. So again, Canva is really good for that. So this is a custom template that I found on Canva. And again, you're able to customize these as much as you want, able to format these how you feel need, and again, really make it your own and really add your USP as I suppose, or unique selling point of your churches. So again, another example is church newsletters. We can use it for internal and external church communication. So again, we can use this for, as I said, bulletins, ministry updates, surveys and feedback forms, vision and mission sharing, announcements, lyric size, and offerings. So again, I got some more examples of how I did this. So for our youth day at my local church, I made this in Canva. So again, I was able to use these to put lyric presentations on. So again, for those that use Pro Presenter or a platform like that, you're able to obviously create custom themes. So I was able to import this from Canva and use these within my notes. So again, just be able to verify how we show the lyrics on the screen and add a bit more vibrancy to our church services, because it's the little things that matter. Again, you can use these for online church graphics as well. So again, announcements, online offerings, thumbnails and videos. So again, this is a tithes and offering poster that I was able to make. Again, a lot of this is using templates. And again, you're able to put the key information in there, information about how people can get involved. And again, these can be shown both in-house and on the stream. This is something that I created the other day. So we have a video with Brenda Walsh that will be coming out in the next few days. So I use Canva to make the thumbnail. And as you can see, again, very simple, able to drag a photo from Canva, find a nice font, be able to use a layering effect. And again, key information, and Canva really good for little sort of things like this. Here's some best practices as well when you're using Canva. So keep it simple. A lot of the times, and I say this from experience because I had to do this at my local church as well, but when we're creating posters, people like to put a lot of information on there because sometimes it can clutter the screen and it doesn't look very great. And my advice is always to keep it simple. Don't overload it with too much text and imagery. Make sure you had your key information on there, and it can so that your church name, the date of the event title, and your address. Those are just some of the key information on there and times. Because what you don't want to do is, again, overload the post with information so that people then lose sight of what it actually is, and they say, oh, well, I didn't see that key piece of information on that. Well, the time was really too small, and those sort of things. Consistent branding, again, using your church colors. So if your church has a set of colors that they use, try and incorporate that into everything that you do so that there's always some consistent thing so people can easily identify that. Okay, I know that this is Winter Street Church. I know that this is Hansford Church. I know that it's Leeds Church. And again, using it with fonts, different fonts and logos across your design. So again, if you actually can see, if I was to go on some of the posters that I had, again, I always had the Wolverhampton Central name and the NEC name in there. So that again, people always recognize, okay, cool, we know that that's the Adventist Church, and it's always consistent with everything that we do. Again, using readable fonts. Sometimes the font that we're using that can be also very difficult because again, what we're trying to encourage is for people to be able to read and make the posters audible and readable for the consumers. So a lot of the time, we can use like our Nancy handwriting font to say, oh yeah, like, oh, that's really nice. It looks good, but for a poster or formatting, it's not necessarily the greatest. So again, choosing clean professional fonts. I think Joe can double back me on, correct me on this. We tend to use sans serif is always a good recommendation. Joe, if you're still here. Sans serif is always a good recommendation. I will always say for a good font to use. Again, high quality images. So again, making sure that the images that you use are high quality, high render. Again, vibrant visuals, be able to make the images stand out, and also balanced layout. So again, making sure that all your texts are aligned, your images are clean. And again, these will allow the graphics that we output to look a lot more clean, a lot more professional, and a lot more engaging for people to see. Because a lot of the times, if we can have a consistent brand and consistent good look, and our posts are very uniform, then they are consistent, a lot of people are going to be likely more to engage in it. Sometimes, a lot of the time, people will just pass the post, it doesn't really look good. But if we're able to implement some of these, we can really help elevate the graphical content that we put out there. Some things to watch out for. Again, as I stated, ensure that we don't have too much clutter on your screen. So again, keep your design simple, clean, and focused. Again, poor branding, ensuring that the designs are consistent with your church identity. I'm going to go into that in a bit with a bit more context. Again, using the right dimensions. Also, making sure we use the right sizes for different print or different social media. So again, for example, on Instagram, there, if you're doing a reel, if you know what a reel is, reels need to be done in 1080 by 1920. Same for the posters, it needs to be by 1080 by 1080. So ensuring that when we're creating our images and graphics and social, that they're formatted for the correct screen. So again, If you know your projectors at church, they are a certain resolution size, ensuring that you're formatting the images and your posters and the graphics that you're making in the correct format. And also a lack of call to action. So for those who don't know what a call to action is, a call to action is encouraging the people to action on something. So for example, if we are looking for people to donate or we're looking for people to attend, a lot of the times, sometimes we forget to put a call to action on there. So again, a call to action could be just simply as if you want more information or want to attend, please register in X, Y, Z, or please contact this person. So ensuring that we have call to action. So again, we're able to reach out to the people and able to track, communicate with the wider audience. Because a lot of the time people don't know who, okay, they see the poster, but okay, I want more information about it. But a lot of times the information isn't on there. So again, ensuring that we have a call to action on there is very key in allowing us to make sure that we're effectively communicating to our audiences and to our members. So here's some examples of, again, consistent branding, consistent theming. As you can see, I've used the same colors. So again, you got like a brown burgundy color, you got like a light cream, and you got white. And again, in just ensuring that and the way it's formatted as well. So again, you've got key information that's nice and bold. So you've got music day, so people can see that's clearly nice and bold. They've got the date that's clear and bold, and they've got the start time as well. And again, we also got another call to action. You can watch now, join us online or in person. So again, people say, oh, people recognize the red and white from YouTube. So they're, oh, okay, maybe I'm able to watch it online. So again, that's a good way to have a call to action. So it can be something very subtle like that. And again, another key information is having the evening of praise on there from 5:30. And again, as I said, always having the logo in the top right corner to show that, okay, people know about this is the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Wolverhampton Central. I'm going to play a video in regards to branding and Adventist guidelines. So if I was to come off, I'm going to play this video and I'll give a bit more context into this, just so you guys have an idea of, as the Adventist Church, what are some of the brand guidelines that we adhere to. So let's go back. Oops, sorry. By the way, was everyone able to hear that audio?
Nope.
No,
No.
Okay.
share
Let's
your
stop
sound.
that. Yeah, no problem. I did think that was the case. So let me get it up on here instead. Sorry about this, guys.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church is a global community of faith, and we stand together under a common message. However, our diversity in language, culture, and personal expression can sometimes make us seem fragmented. How can we present ourselves in unity as Seventh-day Adventists? How can we use typefaces, colors, patterns, images, and layouts to let people know that they are looking at Adventist materials even before they see our logo? Most importantly, how can we create a system that is flexible enough to accommodate our diversity? The church symbol has been in use since 1997, and it is the most recognizable element of our existing visual identity system. It effectively encapsulates some of our most important concepts, so it remains a core component of the identity system. The symbol usually comes accompanied by text, the name of a local church or organization. Because of our global nature, it is also important to make sure that the design of our church logo works well across hundreds of different languages. To accommodate for this, we created a multi-language type system using Advent Sans, an open source font designed specifically for the Seventh-day Adventist Church. This sleek universal font, accompanied by a flat, single-tone symbols, provide a modern, cohesive visual identity for our church. Colors hold cultural meanings. We want to celebrate that. While in the past, specific colors were recommended for global use, now in this new variable color system, the logo can be adapted to match or complement other layout elements, provided it always remains a single solid color. Aside from ensuring that the symbol continues to appear on materials, the new system allows for a wide level of flexibility. The symbol is now free to exist in isolation, detached from the name of the church or entity. When not using the Adventist symbol within the Sabbath column or locked up with an entity name, the preferred version is the knocked-out circular version, which allows for a more graphically pleasing layout. In addition to creating a universally cohesive logo system for our church, we are introducing the Creation Grid. The Creation Grid is a reference both to the prophetic timeline as well as the creation week that culminated in the seventh-day Sabbath. This is a 7-column layout structure to be used in the majority of design projects. It intends to communicate our conviction that every Sabbath is a celebration of our hope in the renewal of everything. The first 6 columns are yours to fill with text, images, illustrations, patterns, logos, or anything else. In those 6 columns, you should do all your work of communicating information. But the 7th column, the Sabbath column, is to be set apart, to be special and different from the other 6 columns, as a reminder and visual celebration of our prophetic identity. We all celebrate the Sabbath in different ways, so how you make the Sabbath column different and special is, to an extent, up to you. The principle to keep in mind is contrast. The Sabbath column can be filled with just about any background element: a full bleed image, a texture, pattern, illustration, bold colors, a gradient, or even white space, as long as it is beautiful and fills the entire column. Aside from full background elements, the 7th column should never include identifying marks or text of any kind, with the exception of the Adventist symbol. From billboards and print campaigns to books and pamphlets or even digital application, this new system of design will encourage individual creativity while keeping a cohesive look and prevent visual fragmentation of our identity. The ultimate goal of this visual identity guideline system is to help people know we are all Seventh-day Adventists. We are all different, but all excited about the beauty that is soon to come.
So yeah, that was a bit about the Adventist brand guideline. So as a church, one of the things as a department that we try to do is ensure that the creation grid, the 7th column, is always apparent in the things that we do. So as you can see on the screen, you have all the text going across here, and then you have your final column of the 7th creation grid. So again, this is something that, again, part of our brand guidelines have a consistency within our work. We are trying, we want people to always trying to do and incorporate. So, the question for Anna, she was asking about how can we get access to some of these, like the logos and the fact, Adventist.design. So Adventist.design is essentially the brand guideline for the NEC for the GC, and from there you're able to access download different PNG files. That so you're asking about how can I get the logo without the background or something like that. That's where you can get them. So if I was to come out of here for a second and show you guys, so if I was to go Adventist.design, and again, this here has a lot more in-depth information about the Adventist brand guidelines and how we should implement them into when we're creating graphical content. So if you were to go into global elements, and as you can see, you got church symbols. Again, it gives a lot more information about how you can get to them. And then believe is you go into, Joe, remind me where I need to go to download the files again, please.
Top right menu.
Yep.
Yeah. And then there's an option for downloads on the left hand side.
Yeah. So in the downloads folder, you got different design libraries. You got the logo. You click onto logo. This is where you're able to download all the Adventist brand logo. So again, you've got the text logo, you've got the Adventist Church logo, you got the different symbols. And again, Joe, remind me how you would customize these again. I believe you have to download the files of them, or you have to request them from GC. I can't remember how I did it before.
Customize them for a local church?
Yeah.
Okay. So your best way of doing it in Canva or Photoshop or some other similar sort of software or tool, you would use the symbol on the left-hand side. You would need to get the font for Advent Sans, download that to your computer. I saw Ian asked about, can you add it, install it into Canva? You can do. So what I'm about to describe, you can do in Canva. Install the font into there, and then you would add in the church name. Let's say if Liverpool Central Seventh-day Adventist Church. And instead of, I see where your mouse is right now, Caleb. So if you don't move your mouse, so you got Seventh-day Adventist Church there. Instead of writing Seventh-day Adventist Church, you would write Liverpool Central Seventh-day Adventist Church on 2 lines. If your church was Sheffield Burngreave, it would be Sheffield Burngreave Seventh-day Adventist Church. Whatever your church name is, you add Seventh-day Adventist Church and you keep it on 2 lines. So, you know, if you've got a particularly long name, you would have to maybe reduce the size of the font. If you've got a short name and it's like, I can't think of an example. Maybe you don't have to reduce the hub. Yeah, the hub Seventh-day Adventist Church. You wouldn't have to reduce the size of the text as much. But that's how you would make it in Canva or Photoshop or something of that nature.
So yeah, thank you for that, Pastor Philippa. And so yeah, if I go back onto my presentation and I say, for example, in this one, as you can see, the 7. So you essentially, I would recommend trying breaking your images into 7 distinct columns, and in that way, evenly spaced out where you can. And as you can see in my 7th grid here, I've got the NEC Adventist logo on the top bottom right hand corner, and again, I've got the freedom to create the graphical content in there. So again, this is something that again I would encourage us all to try and do moving forward. I'm going to try and implement that at my local church as well, and yeah, it's just something I would encourage all of us to do moving forward. Just to kind of wrap up again, so again, with Canva, again, there's a lot of stuff within there and the features that you can use in there. But if you wanted to have a bit more insert research in there, so some top resources that I recommend using. So again, Canva has their own design tool, which has free tutorials and courses that you can use. So again, if you didn't know how to do certain things, that's a great place to be able to learn. We've also got a YouTube channel, which has skill guides for everyone at different age ranges. And again, helps them if you're trying to troubleshoot something. No, also online courses. You really do a great course on Canva as well, but these are paid. So again, Skillshare course. So again, if you wanted something a bit more in depth and a bit more, then you can look at some online courses. There's some great community blogs in there. So Canva has a blog that a lot of people use and community, and it's a good community hub to be able to learn tips and tricks of different people. And also Reddit is a good place. So again, you know, if you want to find some inspiration, Reddit is a good place to look in there if you're struggling to think of a design. And again, going on YouTube, finding different creators. Again, I know there's 2 people called Miriam and Diane Munoz. I use them a lot. And there's also, again, the free templates within Canva as well. I also recommend using that as well. So that kind of wraps up my presentation. Are there any questions that you guys have? It's now time to open the floor for you guys to ask any questions, any queries if you wanted a bit more insight into a particular element, or the stuff that you're struggling with on Canva that you kind of want me, and maybe I'm able to show you how to do that now. This is the opportunity to do that.
Not so much Canva, just a observation. I remember in my past training I did, the conference was indicating that whenever we do church billboards or anything, we must always put Seventh-day Adventist first and then the church name. Does that still stand?
From what I'm understanding, that will still be correct. Yeah,
Okay.
that will still be correct. That will still be. Slide 22. Jamie, which slide, which picture and slide 20? Okay, cool. Yeah. So this is that one. So again, if people do want me to send so many design elements and so many photo icons for inspiration, please let me know and I can send that across to you guys. I can also send the presentation to you guys if you guys wanted to have a read through it yourself, look at some of the stuff I've shown. So
Yes,
yeah,
please.
yeah.
I wanted to ask a quick one in terms of the the guidelines for the 7 grade. How
Yes.
do we get them on Canva? Because obviously, sometimes it's difficult to divide them into 7 equal parts.
Got you, got you. A lot of the times it's so from what I remember, how I normally do it is I just manually do it. So for the conference, we have Joe was even able to make a custom template. But again, a lot of it is really just you just divide the column because obviously each image is basically or graphic is basically different depending on what you're creating. So
Yeah.
what you really do is just really just essentially just break whatever image that you're doing into 7 even columns where you can, and then just ensuring that the 7 column is always saved for that.
Okay.
If that makes sense. If that makes sense. So.
Yeah. And my second question was, how do we really choose the colors of the church? Like, obviously, the NEC one will be blue, the blue shade, but for the local churches, how do we vary it between ourselves?
So officially, so let's something go from caveat. So when you're using official devs, like with if any cover letters, if you're doing any official church documentation or stuff like that, it has to be the blue color of the event, the NEC church, because that's what we use across the board. So for example, the logo would need to be either white or this beige blue. But if you want to just do random custom content, you can just pick and choose. For example, if you just again an example would be you have a youth project that you're doing and you didn't want to necessarily use it. You can then choose a different color for that. But officially when you're using official church documentation, so again, cover letters, church signage, it has to be the official NEC colors, which is the beige blue that you can see here.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, no problem. Any more questions? Again, so yeah, so I will send, I can send this presentation. Yeah.
I
So
don't have a question, but
yeah.
I would just like to say, because for the dividing in 7, if you go to file, you can get guides and rulers in file for Canva, which helps a lot when dividing into like the same amount of spaces.
Oh,
I
okay.
just find it really useful trick.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Great.
I barely go on the filing system parts.
So the question in the chat. So sometimes I find myself abbreviating the 7-day register to SDA. Is it okay to be abbreviated on posters, letters, to fees, the presentation? Depending on what it is. So sometimes you can use the SDA church. Let me see if I can get Joe to jump in. Could he be? Obviously, he can give the official. I don't want to misquote myself. But I think it depends. So I'll get Pastor Joe to jump in, and then he can answer that question. And also I'll come back to your question, Ian. Are there any more questions? No.
You've got, you're saying to us that the colour for the church is blue. Do they have numbers relating to what actual colour that is?
Yes, there is a color.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a color code. The color code, I believe, is, if I'm able to grab it from here. So I'm going to quickly type this out. Two F 5 7 F. So I'm going to put the color code in the YouTube chat. and then you just the Zoom chat. So, and that is the official color code for the church.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Joe, there's a question in the chat. They're saying about sometimes people Ian asked about sometimes I often find myself abbreviating the Seventh-day Adventist Church to SDA. Is it okay to be abbreviated on posters, leaflet presentations, etc.?
Sure, that's a good question. And if I can jump on the previous question as well before I answer it, on the Adventist.design webpage with the general conference, if you were to go to scroll up for me, Caleb, and you go to global elements, and then color, and scroll down, you've got the color information there as well. So if anybody were to not write it down from the chat, they can always access it here. In terms of abbreviations, according to the brand guidelines that we have as a church, we discourage the use of SDA as an acronym. And the reason is that acronym is actually used by other organizations across the world, external to the Adventist Church, that is. And albeit we can make the connection between Seventh-day Adventist and the three letters SDA, a more preferred or recommended acronym or abbreviation will be Adventist, because at least it's part of our name, Seventh-day Adventist, to shorten it to Adventist. So if you were writing out the full name of the church, ideally you would use the full Seventh-day Adventist term. And the reason is that most people in our British society haven't heard about the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And so as we're trying to raise awareness of the church, you use the full name, right? You know, if you're introducing yourself for the first time, you might introduce yourself as your full name, right? You might say Joe Philpott or Joseph Philpott. I wouldn't introduce myself for the first time by the nickname that my sister sometimes calls me, or I wouldn't introduce myself as the nickname that some of my guy friends would call me, because we don't know each other like that, right? So I introduce myself with my full name. When we're doing that with externally, we're communicating ourselves externally, you might want to use a full name for that reason. But if you couldn't for some reason, Adventist is more preferred than SDA. I'm not sure who asked the question, but I hope that answers your question at least. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be closing the breakout rooms in just a minute, guys. So Caleb, just so you know, I'll see everybody.
That's fine. I think we're wrapping up now anyway. So yeah. So again, thank you guys. I will get this presentation sent emailed out to you once this once the workshops are finished. But again, thank you guys. And again, if you want to reach out to myself or Joel, if you want a little bit more in-depth training, please let me know and we can take it from there. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, man.